G'day everyone, welcome to Animal Tales with Tim Faulkner. That's me. Today I'm talking one of Australia's giant birds, the emu. Emus are a flightless bird. They stand as tall as me. There are two species of giant bird in Australia, the cassowary, which is classed as the world's most dangerous bird, and emus. Now, cassowaries live in the tropical forests and eat fruits. Emus live in the arid interior of Australia, in the open woodlands and its grasslands, and they're very different in that regard. Let's take a look at an emu's external features. At one point, an emu's ancestors used to be able to fly, but the emus have lost the need to fly. But they still have these little wings with little feathers, but they can't help them to fly. Now, if we start up at the beak, the emu beak, it's not as tough as it looks. It's quite soft and rubbery, and it's used for eating grains and things off the ground that it can swallow whole. Now, it has really good eyesight. You look at those big eyes. Now, it breathes through two nostrils on its nose, very similar to us, and it doesn't have a very good sense of smell. But the emu is still fully covered with feathers. And those feathers, even though they're not used to help it fly, are still helped to insulate the emu. They're warm-blooded. At night time it's cold, and those feathers help to insulate it, just like us wearing clothing. Now, those long legs are still quite protected. They've got big sharp scales on them. And you think, if something like a dingo is trying to hunt you, it's probably going to try and grab you around the legs. So you really want your legs to be protected like a rhinoceros. Now, emus spend most of their time looking for food. Now, their food are grasses, grains, anything that they can pick up that's palatable and digestible and swallow whole. Now, they'll roam grassy plains for hours and hours every day looking for their food. Now, when it gets too hot in the middle of the day, they'll take shelter. The same at night. They're mainly diurnal, which means they're awake through the daytime. So to find shelter, they could use, they don't go under hollow logs, they don't go in burrows, they don't go up trees. So they'll normally be finding shelter somewhere that's not too hot or not too cold. And so that might be under a bush or in a little thicket of trees, and that's where they'll take shelter and refuge. Like so many Australian animals, emus can go a long time without water. They have to drink, or at very least need moisture in their body. So even when there's been long periods without rainfall, they'll pick foods that have the highest moisture content. Or in the morning, they'll pick off leaves that have got little droplets of water in them. So they can get a lot of the water they need from their food, but they do need to drink. Emus are typically solitary. It means that the male and female, they do their own thing, but they do come together to breed. And their breeding is really interesting. Now, mum mates with a male and lays an egg in his nest, and that's all she does. And she might have 5 nests to different males in the area that she's laying different eggs in. And it's a way of her ensuring that her genetics are represented. She's making a bet that if one nest fails or the chicks are predated or something like this, there's 5 others that can carry on her genetics. But she lays an egg, and that's her job done. She leaves. Now, the dad, he incubates those eggs, and he incubates them until they hatch. And when they hatch, that's when you can see a family group. And the chicks are all following their father. Now, the chicks are incredible. They've got these white stripes down them, and it blends them in with a basic camouflage in the grassy environments. And dad, he is a great dad. He will protect them from any threats and predators, like dingoes. Now, one fun fact is that on the Australian coat of arms, we've got an emu and a kangaroo. Now, they're on there for a very particular reason, and it is a fun fact, but I want that to be one of your homework questions. Why is the emu and kangaroo on the Australian coat of arms? Now, another fun fact, just something funny, is when you watch an emu sit down, they can't go forward, so they have to put their legs down and sit. And it's a real spectacle to see, same as when they get back up. But your next piece of homework is vocalizations. Can you tell me what kind of vocalizations, which are the noises that emus can make, what are they? And if you're happy to, send them in to me. Write a couple of sentences for the little kids, and I'd like a page on the facts you've taken from me, inclusive of your homework, and send it back to me in the comments. That's all for today. See you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. Now, the keepers and I are looking after all of our animals and our families, but we all have a bit of extra time at the moment, like you probably do too. So this is a great distraction for us, and hopefully you. Now, if you like what you've seen or want to show me your homework, just put it into the comments. This is what I do, connecting people with nature, and that can't stop. I'll see you next time.
Done.